Have you ever, as a child, bought a game with your hard-saved pocket money, only to find out later that it was, to put it mildly, not the best investment?
What a piece of junk!
And yes, nowadays there is a YouTube site dedicated to video games. After all, marketplaces show aggregated ratings. But in the dark times of the 90s and early 2000s, it was quite difficult to find adequate information about the quality of the game. We relied on magazines and word of mouth. The possibility of error was high, but what to do? Personally, I tried to find at least something good in the game, to try to get the most out of what it had to offer until I get something better. It was the same with Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Mortal Kombat fascinated me. Absolutely crazy characters, combos, fatalities, incredible cruelty. There was simply nothing like this in the world of fighting games. The idea of making an action-adventure game in this universe seemed incredibly cool. Change the perspective and tell the story of one of the fighters in the adventure genre? Sounds great! In the original concept, Tobias considered two playable characters, Jax and Sonya, as well as a possible cameo from Raiden. The gameplay was supposed to be reminiscent of Tomb Raider with a third-person camera. Players would fight enemies and explore levels, solve puzzles. The locations were supposed to be filled with NPCs, not only enemy ones, but also civilians. Moreover, the campaigns for Sonya and Jax should have been different. In the GameSpot interview, Tobias said, "Sometimes they don't intentionally split up, something happens, and they both have to go separate ways, and towards the end of the level they come back together. Depending upon who you play, what you do see, the enemies you face, and the story, even to some extent, will be different. You travel through the same levels, but there are different paths, and it will seem like a different game. Can you imagine that? I suppose you can." The plot was supposed to tell about the fight against the Black Dragon Gang, and precede the events of the first Mortal Kombat. We had to find out how Kano got his eye implant and how Kabal was disfigured. Unfortunately, the game production ran into a whole bunch of problems. First, the release was postponed from the fall of 1999 to the spring of 2000. Then, many of Midway's employees left the studio, including John Tobias. Nevertheless, development continued. But in order to get to the 2000 release, everything that could be trimmed or simplified was trimmed and simplified. The plot was significantly changed. The campaign for Sonya was also cut, leaving Jax as the only playable character. The gameplay has also undergone changes. Initially, characters were supposed to do a great deal of jumping on boxes and climbing up ladders. There were even some areas where Jax had to swim from room to room. Even though these portions of the game worked fine, with exceptions to the jumping system, they have all been removed.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Now all the characters can do is run, shoot, fight, which is designed to speed up gameplay. Ultimately, the game underwent significant changes and was released in June 2000, and this is what we received. I must give it a credit. After a while, when the confusion fades and you even start tapping your foot to the rhythm of the music, the change in the tone doesn't seem so bad. They're showing us an exhibition of enemies which asses we must kick, and I should say not a bad art. Very reminiscent of the style of the Batman animated series. However, already in the next cutscene, the tone of the game changes dramatically. We see gloomy urban landscapes, we see special forces, special facility for special prisoners. Then the incredibly white criminals walk out. They don't run out, they walk out through the blown up wall. Then we see as anti-white squad is dispatched, but where's the heavy artillery with metal forearms? There he is, rides to the sunset on his pimp mobile.
You gotta hit us up. to get a pimped out ride.
Jax, we have an urgent situation that demands your attention.
What's the problem, Gemini?
We have a breakout at the Special Forces Maximum Security Facility. A group of highly dangerous superhuman criminals has escaped the compound and are at large. The list of escaped prisoners is as follows. No-Face, Tazia, Jarek, and Trimmer. They apparently are hiding out in an abandoned warehouse on the south side of town. There's something else you should know. The prisoners received help from an outside source.
It has to be Kano.
You guessed it.
Gemini, tell operations ETA 60 seconds to the warehouse. Inform Lieutenant Sanchez not to infiltrate the warehouse until my arrival.
Affirmative. Oh, wait, hold up, Jax. I have a transmission coming in from Lieutenant Sanchez. I'll patch it through.
Jax, we have just arrived at the location and we are awaiting your orders. Wait a minute. What the? It's a trap!
It's a trap!
Let's get back. Kano, you're gonna pay for this.
It's hard not to notice lazy acting and bad writing. One could assume that it could have been better if the original team was still there, but really doubt that, considering what was shown on E3 demo.
What do you want now?
I have to use the toilet.
So use the toilet. There's one in your cell.
But I can't. My hands are cuffed.
I ain't taking off your cuffs.
Well, then can you at least come in and pull my pants down for me? Please?
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Now, back to the game. We found ourselves in the alley near the warehouse. Jax is already shirtless and ready for a duty. Game throws at us first goons, and soon we figure out that this is a quite classic beat-em-up game. We explore levels in a 3D environment, fighting groups of enemies using metal arms, non-metal legs, and the occasional firearm. There are also healing items and extra lives scattered around. And at the end of each level, there is a boss waiting for us. I've got to give a credit to resilience of local bad guys. Fighting them feels almost like this.
Idiot!
Let me see what your best move is. Jeez!
When you earn enough XP, Jax will level up and gain access to new combos, which increase the damage we can deal. But you need to be very specific on your position against the enemy, because one step away and combo will not be registered. You need to try to get as close as you can and push buttons with the specific rhythm. Pretty soon you get used to it and using combos will not be a problem. One of the cool features is the ability to look from the first person perspective, just like in Metal Gear Solid. But to be fair, level design is so boring and uninteresting that it's not worth using it, unless you want to check on the enemies ahead. Because pretty soon already on the warehouse level, you'll encounter enemies with guns, which can reduce your health dramatically in a mere seconds, unless you attack them from a distance first. Because game production was rushed, levels itself are not so complex. Simple set of corridors, rooms, but it requires a lot of backtracking to progress and you never know for sure where you need to go. So on the warehouse level, we go to the basement first, pick up a key to the power room. Then return to the first floor, go to the power room, hit power switch, and now you have access to the elevator. On the second level you'll find few empty rooms, few enemies, exit door, which of course locked, and a very nice rug that definitely ties the room together.
Who the fuck are you? Why are you following me around? Come on, fuckhead!
While third floor contains another door that can't be opened, fourth floor in turn has a detonator. It serves one and only one purpose: blow walls with cracks. This is a good mechanic to find secrets and explore levels. I mean, this guy knows everything about it. Problem here is that it is absolutely necessary for progression, because some of the key items are hidden behind those cracks, and later on, because of the camera angle, those cracks are barely visible, but we'll get to that later. Now, we use the key to get to the security room, where we enable fire alarm to open yet another door, and finally we're out to face our first boss. No-Face greets us with explosives and flamethrower. Explosives are very easy to dodge, while flamethrower has a great reach and creates a wall of fire that's very difficult to get by. At first I tried my firearm, and even though I had a decent amount of ammo collected through the level, it was not enough to kill him. After lots of running around and being kicked off on my butt, I finally got close to him and started smashing him with my fists while he's still warm.
You want some fries with that whoop ass?
I think it's fair to say sewers is one of the most used level concepts in video games, and since Mortal Kombat Special Forces wants to be one, it also contains such level. One of the most annoying things here is most of the enemies are armed now, and most of the time they see you before you see them, because of camera angle limits. It's like game tells you to switch from your fist to machine gun you acquired in the warehouse. Problem with this is, first of all, what am I supposed to do with all those combos that I have learned earlier? And second, I already spent all my ammo on the No-Face. Later on, you'll find the sniper rifle. Just think about it for a moment. Sniper rifle in the sewers. It's quite unorthodox, but we can work with that. Now we can look in the scope each and every time when we turn around the corner to see if there is an enemy on patrol. Even that is not a guarantee that we'll not take any damage from someone who just saw us first. Cool thing is that you can actually do a headshot. Body shots will make goons drop their weapon, while headshot is insta-kill. Even have a highlight for it, just like in Siphon Filter. When you collect all the pieces of the access code, which is done in a simple but at least interesting manner, you'll be able to get to the next section. There, you need to collect security cards and do a lot of backtracking before you get to the mostly identical section.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night.
There you need to collect cards again to move a bridge to the boss of the level. Dacia will meet you with grenades just like No-Face, but they're purple this time, so that counts as a new move, of course. She also has 4 yellow spots that will stun you for a second if you step on them. Other than that, you just need to get close and land few good hits before she disappears. After she falls, you will have a unique opportunity to enjoy Jax's thirsty comments.
Jax the Gemini, do you copy?
Yes, Jax, I'm here. Any news?
Oh yeah, I just got in a close shave with a twin-bladed honey. Too bad I had to take her out though. That Tazia sure was a looker.
Jax, the mission, remember?
Get your shit together!
Yeah, the mission. Next up for Horny Jax is the underground parking lot of the business tower. We're back to beating the crap out of the Black Dragon members, or maybe it's just unlucky parking security who were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Anyways, the first access code consists of numbers from car license plates, in very order in which we come across the cars. What a coincidence. The next section contains a more sophisticated version of the previous puzzle. You might think that this is 47 Anatic or 9 Orok, but if you read it backwards, it's Kitana 74 and Goro 9. There you go, another code is cracked. When you reach the end of the parking lot, you will find the key in the booth. Now you can return to the very beginning to the entrance to the building. This part of the tower called office. No, there's nothing looks like office. You have long corridor, some kind of generator room or whatever that is, and the basement with the showers and half-naked woman. When I came across them, they took me by surprise, and I gave in to my instincts. Later you receive a message that you need to contact Special Agent Sophia. She's half-naked also, and I suppose it's part of the job in the Special Forces. She opens a locker for you. You get a key to a room, where you find another key to another room, in which you unlock the elevator to go up to the roof. Roof is much smaller section. All you need to do is to fight upcoming enemies and unleash Jax the Destroyer on cracked walls to uncover some goodies like ammo and health packs and actually the key to the boss of the stage. Jarek will throw blades at you that will deal a ton of damage. He also had an orb similar to Tasia's light spots that can paralyze Jax if shot at. My main problem was that I was trying to use difficult combos that would eventually knock Jarek back and put me in a dangerous position, where I would again lose a lot of health. That was until I realized that all I had to do was get close enough to him and just push the X button non-stop until he fell. It is as if the game is trying to tell us,
why waste time? Say lot word when few word do trick.
That's right, Kaden. And after defeating Jarek, Jax again calls Gemini to boast of his achievements, as well as to announce a voyage to the Lost City. Is there really something new and interesting waiting for us? Well, if you got tired on the previous level trying to figure out where you need to go, then you should be happy now, cause this part of Xinjiang stage is just a straight corridor. At some point you'll have to turn to the left, but then you need to walk straight again. Someone could say that it's a lazy level design, but I say nay, it's a change of pace. Talking about the change of pace, next stage is the most where the fuck should I go or should I do type of level of all in the game. You need to acquire help from ancient queens to get through, but there is no indication where those queens are, how can you get the help and what can they do. All the key items are hidden behind cracked walls that are barely visible because of the camera angle, or behind pillars which, to your surprise, can be moved. I have spent around half an hour on this little stage just wandering around the tunnels until I looked closely at each and every wall, pushed each and every object just to get to those queens and find those rupees. But enough of that, moving on to the next stage. For your suffering on the previous level, the passage to the gate to the outworld is very simple. You just need to clear the sniper rifle, try out new combo, move the bridge and go to the next boss. Honestly, I have no idea what kind of special abilities Tremor has. I gave him a little taste of shock followed up by a next treatment, then moved on to a final level, Outworld.
You're not gonna believe this. Kano has found an ancient gateway. It appears to be some sort of portal to another dimension. God only knows where it's gonna take me.
What? Are you out of your mind? Jax, you can't be thinking about going through that portal. It could be a trap.
It's a trap!
You might not be able to get back.
There's no time to wait, Gemini. Knowing Kano, this must be a means to his dream of world domination. This is a risk I've got to take.
You must have a cast iron head to match your arms. This is clearly a suicide mission.
Look, don't worry your pretty little head. I promise I will bring you back something nice.
Why are you the way that you are?
Alright, final push, final step. We're in the Outworld, and we need to pay homage to the kings.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So yeah, it's the same story as in Kyang. You run around, fight outworldish goons, and explore level. Once you found 2 dragon eyes that still looked like rupees, you place them on the altar and good to go through the portal. In the final part of the level, we encounter Kano's gang, who now look like Queen. You know, the guy from E3 demo, who was supposed to become a new character, Kano's right hand. So now we explore a labyrinth of walls and towers. The basic concept is still the same. Find yourself the keys, gain access to new areas, kick ass of those who stand in the way, and now we are already on the threshold of the final boss. Now I will let you enjoy this incredible dialogue.
Well, well, well. If it isn't that pesky Special Forces grunt come to seek revenge for all his troops. I am quite impressed. You have managed to defeat all of my Black Dragon members. Pity. They were all looking forward to restarting our little gang. Little did they know they were only pawns to slow you down.
What a twist!
And in that respect, they succeeded. You're too late, Jax. I have already reached the eye of Shi Tian. And soon, you will know its power. And, oh, delicious irony, you shall be the first to serve me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
The only thing I'm gonna serve you is a steel fist to your face, you delusional maniac. And after you get your pounding, I'm gonna haul your butt back to prison back home on Earth, where you won't have the aid of this overgrown light bulb. Sorry to burst your bubble, Kano, but the only thing you're gonna lord over is a porcelain throne in a 4x4 room.
For the last fight, I decided to stick to the old proven strategy. Get close and press the X button until the credits appear.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
And so, with Jax's arch-nemesis fallen, he uses the Eye of Chi Tian to return to Earth Realm. So, is this game really so bad that it is impossible to get any pleasure from it? I will not say that. Don't get me wrong, you can feel in any aspect of this game that it was rushed. From level design to acting, but there is stuff that surprisingly works. Fighting and combos works well, they're entertaining and fun to use. I would even say that shooting sections can be quite enjoyable. What completely amazes me that there is no bugs, especially compared to modern games. It's oversimplistic, blatant, and at some places completely tasteless, but it works without any technical issues. So I think you can enjoy it, if you really try. I will give this game a half-cooked fries without whoop-ass out of 10.
Oh yeah.